Okay, so in this video, I'm going to discuss the syllabus for our English 1B Fast Track 2 class this spring 2024 semester. Okay, so when you are on the syllabus and books page, you just click here. It will take you to the syllabus, which is a Google Doc. This first part of the page has basic general information about the class and ways to contact me, my email address, my website, my Zoom room. This class is fully online, so the location is here on Canvas. And the first day of the class is Monday, March 18th. Last day of the class is Thursday, May 9th. So, course description. First, I included this quote by John F. Kennedy, which says, "Too often we enjoy the comfort of opinion without the discomfort of thought." And I think that that explains a lot of what we see today. Many times people, and including ourselves, have opinions that we've never really thought through. We haven't dug deep, and we might have those opinions because we've been influenced by other people, friends, family members, teachers, organizations, politicians, etc. So in this class, it is an advanced composition and critical thinking class. So critical thinking, right, that connects to this quote here, thinking critically about what we believe, what we say, what we do, what we think, all of those things. So this class is going to focus on writing argumentative essays, which use effective reasoning and rhetorical appeals, which avoid logical fallacies and establish credibility for both you as the writer and your sources. We will read essays, articles, and speeches on a variety of topics and issues. Through class discussions and other assignments, you will practice identifying the arguments and counterarguments within essays, speeches, and articles, and explore the rhetorical strategies and lines of reasoning used. These texts will serve as examples of strong arguments and ideas from which you will draw on to compose your own arguments for essays. The Chaffey College Catalog describes this class as follows. Using primarily nonfiction reading models, students emulate and incorporate various rhetorical strategies in the development of written analysis and researched argumentation. Focus on logical analysis, for example, inductive and deductive reasoning, effective reasoning, establishing credibility and emotional appeals to develop persuasive arguments. This course is writing intensive with a minimum production requirement of 6,000 words. May be offered as an honors course and is transferable to both UC and CSUs. Okay. The next page just outlines the course learning outcomes and course objectives. These are the things that you should be able to do upon successful completion of this course. You can read through those. I won't read through every single one. Required course materials. So we will be using this English Composition 2 free open educational resource, which will act as our textbook. And let me open this up. We'll take you to this page. We will be reading through most of these articles of these different modules here. And this is just the homepage for that textbook. We will also be reading various articles, essays, watching videos, which will all be accessible through the internet. I might give you a link or a PDF that will be in a file on Canvas. So for this class, you need to have an internet connection and a device to access online readings and participate in the course via Canvas, as well as something to type your essays on. You need a notebook for your personal notes, pens, highlighters for annotating and taking notes. There are no in-person activities. So go ahead and delete that. You need an active Chaffey email account. So please make sure that you are able to access your panther.chafee.edu account and that you check that fairly regularly. That is how I will communicate with you and how the college communicates with you. You also need to have access to some word processing software, whether that be Microsoft Word or Google Docs or Pages if you have a Mac. And then a cloud account is recommended. So something like a Google Drive, which if you use Google Docs, it's connected to Google Drive, Dropbox, or you can go old school with a USB for saving your work. Okay, course policies. So this is an online class. So attendance in an online class is going to look different than it does in an in-person course. But the fact remains that in any class, attendance is essential to your success. So I can speak from experience with this. When I was a student, the only classes that I ever got A's in were the ones for which I was rarely, if ever, absent. And I will just say that I had a fair amount of experience on the other side of the spectrum, that is not showing up and failing classes. So don't do that. In addition to our, let's see, I'm sorry, this is a little bit left over from a hybrid class. So you will need to attend class and complete work online via Canvas. I recommend logging into Canvas 2 to 3 times a week. For example, on Monday to submit assignments that are due on Monday and see what assignments and readings are due the coming week. Thursday or Friday to post or reply in online discussions and submit assignments that are due Friday. So every week you will have assignments due on Mondays and Fridays. And then again on Sunday to see what is due the coming week and submit assignments that are due on Monday. So that's just an example. You can schedule and according to your best times, best days, according to your work and life schedules, but you should be logging into Canvas frequently, at least a few times a week. There will be regular online discussions which require your participation, your presence, and your contributions to discussions where you share ideas and opinions and interact with your classmates are really vital to your success as a student and to the dynamic of this class, right? Part of a class is the interaction between classmates. So these online discussions are the primary way which you are interacting with your classmates. I like this quote here, 80% of success is just showing up, right? So just getting on here, getting going, attending the class on Canvas and is most of the work, right? Of course, you're going to have to do readings and assignments as well, but showing up is going to really start that in motion. Okay, so if you stop attending class, which in this class, it means if you stop logging into Canvas, stop completing assignments, don't participate in online discussions, etc. So if you do those things, if you stop attending and you do not drop the class, you will fail. You will receive an F. So it is your responsibility to drop the class. I cannot drop you from this class. After the first week of class, I don't have the authority any longer to drop students if they just stop attending. So that said, please reach out to me if you are struggling. Don't drop the class without discussing your options with me first. I want everyone to pass my class. I want you to be successful. I want to do whatever I can to help you pass this class. So please, if you are struggling, don't hesitate to reach out to me and we'll figure out a way to move forward. Okay, late work. So all assignments are due by midnight on the date that they are listed. And again, as I mentioned previously, you'll always have assignments due on Fridays and Mondays. So before midnight on Friday and before midnight on Monday. Homework assignments will remain open for up to 1 week past the due date. Essay-related assignments, including things like topic proposals and rough drafts and final drafts, will remain open for 48 hours past the due date. After this grace period, assignments will close and no late work will be accepted. So especially for a fast track class or a summer class where it's only 8 weeks, it's really, really imperative to your success in this class that you complete and submit work on time. If you get behind, the work will just continue to pile up because everything is condensed. So there is more to do each week than there would be in a 18-week class. So if you do not keep up with it all, it's going to end up piling up, and then it's going to be really hard to catch back up. Not impossible, but hard. Please note that emailed papers and assignments will not be accepted, so all assignments must be submitted to Canvas unless I tell you otherwise. It is your responsibility to know when assignments are due and manage your time so that you are able to complete assignments on time. So especially for this class, time management is a really huge factor. So that should be your priority. We will work on essays through assignment. Sorry, I'm getting tongue twisted today. You will work on essays through assignments like topic proposals, outlines, rough drafts, and tutoring, which will help you build each essay. So you shouldn't ever be in a situation where you have a blank page the night before a final draft is due. The goal of this class and the way that I've structured it is that you build little by little to get to that final product. If you do experience circumstances that prevent you from finishing and submitting your work on time, it is your responsibility to communicate with me prior to the due date, important point, to discuss your options, right? If you reach out to me and say, hey, this is what's going on and I'm not going to be able to submit this paper on time. I am much more willing to work with you and be flexible with you if you are open with me, especially if it's before the due date rather than, the day after the assignment is due. So keep that in mind. Okay. So regarding cheating and plagiarism or general academic dishonesty, all work in this class that you submit must be your own work. So plagiarism can range from copying a sentence from an article that you read and not citing it properly to turning in an entire essay that you did not write. You will receive 0 points for any plagiarized work, which may result in failure of the course. Readings will be assigned regarding MLA formatting. Actually, for this class, I generally do not assign readings for MLA because I assume you've already taken English 1A and you should have at least covered that somewhat in that class, but I do provide resources for MLA formatting. I will give you links and I have a whole page of MLA resources, so you can always consult those if you have questions. The Chaffey College Success Center offers tutoring, free tutoring, and you can always consult a tutor with regard to formatting questions as well. So it is your responsibility to ensure that you follow those guidelines and avoid plagiarism. Also, all of your rough and final drafts of essays will be submitted to Canvas through the Turnitin tool, which will scan your paper for plagiarism of other texts as well as AI. Final drafts of essays should not exceed, I'm going to say 20% similarity. I've changed my threshold slightly. Turnitin still doesn't flag it until it's over 25%, but I'd like to see 20% or less. Okay. Chaffey College's policy. The library also has lots of help and then resources in Canvas. There's a couple of ways that you can get help with formatting. So we all must suffer one of two things, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. That applies not only to work that you might be doing in your classes, but a lot of things in life. So a note on AI. I won't accept any AI helped written influenced work in this class. This is a writing course and you can't write and learn how to write and become a better writer without doing the work. It's just the nature of the game. I know AI is exciting and there's always these new developments. And I mean, I've experimented with AI myself, and I think that it's an awesome tool. But for this class, for any really writing English-based classes, there is, um, I mean, it says it here, it really just robs us of the opportunity to learn um, if you're having a artificial intelligence write for you. So, um, Turnitin has a tool where it will check for AI, if AI generated content essentially. And so if that percentage is flagged, then I will be communicating with you about um, problems and solutions. Okay, so basically, college is a place for learning. This class is specifically a space for learning how to improve our writing, and AI really just can't do that for you. Moving on. Classroom etiquette. So we are all equally valuable human beings with feelings, unique stories, distinct experiences, and as a result, we have our own opinions and beliefs. So while no one is expected to agree on all topics of discussion, you are expected to be respectful and considerate of your classmates in all communication. So this is mainly with regard to discussions. Especially for this class, we will be discussing some potentially controversial topics, like abortion, for example. So in the discussions online, it's okay to disagree with one another, but you need to do so in a respectful way. That's just, basic human decency. All right, content disclaimer. So transitioning into that, you may read, watch, listen to, and discuss material that is sensitive, controversial, and potentially offensive or triggering. So again, this is a critical thinking class, so we're going to be talking about some hard topics. You are expected to maintain a mature academic and respectful tone when discussing all topics. As a professor, I see topics solely as opportunities for education and awareness, for conversation, and I don't believe that it's my role to push any specific viewpoint on my students. So in this class, and for all your life really, which will always include some form of education or another, I encourage you to approach issues with an open mind and from a place of curiosity. With an open mind specifically to the other side, right? Or just an open mind in general if you don't have an opinion on a topic. But if you do have an opinion on a topic, that's wonderful. You should, but we should also be open to genuinely hearing what the other side has to say and what their arguments are and listening to them. You may change your mind. If not, you will be able to strengthen your own argument by better knowing the argument of the other side. So really, you want to assess all of the information that you are presented with, think critically, ask questions, do research, come to your own educated conclusions. And then I added a bit here that oftentimes the more information you find, the more questions you'll have based on that information that you found. So you'll do more research to answer those new questions. And it's kind of, like you talk about like the rabbit hole, right? You're going down the rabbit hole. It's that endless cycle of more, you're going deeper and you're delving deeper into whatever the topic might be. Another quote here by Robert Frost says, education is the ability to listen to almost anything without losing your temper or your self-confidence. So I think that really applies to a class where you're going to be arguing for or against certain things and discussing some of those harder topics. So don't lose your temper, remain calm, and also don't lose your self-confidence. Okay, class accommodations. So if you require any accommodations due to a documented disability, please reach out to me personally so that we can discuss your needs. I always want to make sure that this class is as accessible as possible for everyone. So I'm happy to be flexible and work with you. All right, assignments and requirements. So there are three, sorry, let's go back here. All grades will be posted to Canvas. Of course, you need a minimum grade of a C to pass the class, which is 70%. The grading scale is pretty standard. So there are three main categories of assignments. We have essays and writing assignments, which are worth 65% of your grade, homework and readings worth 25%, and then participation worth 10%. So you'll have first a source evaluation assignment, a claim of fact essay with different elements, as I mentioned, that will lead to the final draft, a claim of value, same kind of a thing here, and then a claim of policy. So you'll receive specific instructions for each assignment. All work needs to be typed and follow current MLA formatting requirements. Homework and readings mainly includes things like the Canvas app download, annotations or notes for readings, lectures, and or videos. Can also sometimes include summary and narration or analysis of readings, lectures, or videos. And then participation for this class is pretty much the online discussions. I don't think that there's any other element for this particular class for participation. It's just the online discussions and your participation in them. Please note as well that I generally like to include student examples of students' work, especially when it comes to the essays and larger assignments. So I may end up using your essay or your assignment as a model for future sections of this class, though I do generally black out the name or change the name. So, but I appreciate you accepting this because the best way to grow as a writer is to read other writers' work. And if I think that you do an exceptional job on something and I want to use it as an example, then I think that's a great compliment to you. Okay, Chaffey College resources. So in Canvas from your dashboard, you should be able to see the Student Support Hub. That's where you can go to access many different services that Chaffey offers. There is also a student support page on the Chaffey College website. So after reading the syllabus, you should comprehend the requirements and policies outlined for English 1B, including tentative assignments, readings, and course schedule. You are responsible for reaching out to me if you have any questions or concerns regarding the requirements of this course. Your continuation in this course includes your acknowledgement and understanding that this is a reading and writing intensive class and that your weekly attendance, frequent access of Canvas, participation in online discussions, and timely completion of assignments is essential to passing the class. Finally, we have the tentative course schedule. So this just outlines the 8 weeks of the class, due dates on Fridays and Mondays, and what you will be expected to read, watch, and submit for each day. This is subject to change, but with an 8-week class, there's not a whole lot of room for wiggle room. So it generally will likely remain the same. All right, that's it. I hope that you also have watched or will watch the week 1 welcome video. I share some important information there. And other than that, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'm always happy to help. All right, talk to you all later. Bye.